Well, good morning, everyone. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord here, taking a look at the forecast as we head into what looks to be a very warm summer weekend here to kick off fall. So there's a quick check of what we have happening out the door right now, and overall, it's a pretty quiet one. I'm just waiting on those temperatures to climb, and they are doing so here at a pretty steady clip, and that's what we'll continue to track over the course of the morning. We're at 68 degrees right now after bottoming out in the 50s, and from that point we have been climbing pretty steadily, and now's the time of the morning where we add anywhere from 5 to 7 degrees per hour onto those temperatures, and we will see a nice warm up into the afternoon. So overall, we are looking at a very mild day once again. The dew points are going to work in our favor. Stay in the pleasant range the vast majority of the day, so likely not a big worry with those, but there will be some influence from the humidity later on this weekend. Right now, pretty quiet on the satellite picture. By noon, we should be up near 80 degrees already, upper 70s to right around 80, and then the rest of the afternoon is all about 80s all the time. 85 by 3 o'clock, 86 briefly. I think we can get there for a high, and then later on we will start to cool off. By 7, we're down near 80 degrees and keep on falling from there during the evening. Some high clouds drift in overnight, heading into the early morning hours of Saturday. Not too much to worry about with those, and temperatures should be in the 50s as we start off Saturday morning. Now, Friday night fever forecast. No rain, little wind to worry about, but it's all about the temperature. We're right around 80 degrees at kickoff, cooling off into the 70s during the game. So nothing crazy there. It's probably a little warmer than you're used to for this time of year. Now, the Big Bud Crawford Parade, that's going on this Saturday morning. And right around 10 o'clock is when that gets going. During it, it's likely going to warm through the 70s. So that looks to be incredibly comfortable. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful weekend for that. And the only thing that started to show up is perhaps a little bit of wind, maybe some gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour in the late morning hours that could be a little blustery at times while that moves through. But that's going to help to dry the air out. That'll send some very comfortable air our way. But as much as the air may dry out a little bit on Saturday, you're not seeing that subtle little fluctuation there on this. But this shows the jump on Sunday on the muggy meter as the dew points go up. And I think it could feel a little muggy during Sunday afternoon. So keep that in mind. By the early part of next week, we're going to see those dew points go down considerably. And that's going to make at least the 80s that we have in the forecast for a while be rather comfortable. So we have a lot of mid-80s. Now, there has been a subtle cooling trend with Saturday. We're kind of iffy on how much to lean into it just because the air is going to be fairly dry and it should be able to warm up. Sunday morning has started to cool down a little bit, and we'll head into Monday with some high temperatures that'll be in the mid-80s as we make our way towards the middle and end portion of next week. Not a lot of variation from Sunday through Friday the way it appears right now. Friday night into Saturday morning has the potential for our next round of rain. Yes, that is over 1 week away, and the way it looks now, it'd probably be out of here by game time on Saturday with that game against Michigan State. But still, it's a ways before we get any rain in the area, and you look beyond it, no phenomenal widespread rain chances. I think we're going to dive into a pretty dry fall stretch. Next 2 weeks look drier than normal. Temperatures look warmer than average. You can see the first third of October is leaning heavily towards the warm side when you look at the temperature outlook. So that would take you 2 weeks out. This is what we call the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, and that is leaning well above average. So 14 days, that's 2 weeks, and that's what we're looking at here. 80s on the 10 day, and likely a lot of 70s and 80s into October. Now, you can see this goes October 3rd through October 9th. By October 9th, that average high is probably right around 70 degrees. So above average could mean a lot of 70s for us as well. A couple other things I want to show you here. Let me see if I can find this graphic here. I'm going to be putting together a little story here. I'm going to post it on our website as well here in a little bit. But look at the wide discrepancy in rainfall that we've had over the year so far. Now, two places where we get very steady, accurate data and readings. Epley Airfield on the east side of the metro, where official records have been kept for decades. And then Valley, where the National Weather Service office is located. They've been keeping very good records for the last 30 to 40 years. And notice the discrepancy, and that covers the metro pretty well. Much more rain has been falling on the west side of the city than on the east side with any of these thunderstorms that we've had. So you'll notice a 9-inch difference as far as rainfall goes from Valley to Epley. And that's, what, a half-hour drive, maybe 40 minutes? It's not a very large distance, but there's a pretty big discrepancy in rainfall. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how that manifests and what that looks like when you put some numbers to it as well. So look for that story on our website here coming up in a little bit. But in the meantime, keep this a little shorter and sweet because the weather's so beautiful. Hope you get a chance to enjoy it, and we'll be talking again later.